Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver and today we are playing some SBB99. So this is maybe the smallest SBB99 lobby I've ever played. As you can see, it's only 25 players, but I mean it's still worth a super crown, so we're still gonna play it out, of course. And as you can see, our opening shop there was pretty ridiculous. Getting 3 blind mice immediately is fantastic. We're gonna triple it here. We're really hoping for a forking rod, of course, but we're gonna settle on deck of many things. Sky Castle is something that seems really good in theory to get this early, but I found that it just doesn't really work out that well in practice, personally. Maybe it's just like bad shop luck, but taking an early Sky Castle has never really panned out for me. So let me know if you've had any different luck with Sky Castle, but yeah, just I'm not an incredibly huge fan of taking that, even if you get it on 2.2. So yeah, so with SBB99, of course, the game kind of devolves into you have to be able to have an incredible late game comp to be able to win. So in this situation, like I'm basically just forcing hat fork ball here. So you're gonna see me go for hat fork ball a lot more aggressively. That's kind of one thing that I'm not a huge fan of in regards to the SBB99 games is generally the winner of the lobby is going to be someone who got the hat fork ball combo and just wins. I think in regular Storybook Brawl, like the hat fork ball is fine. Like it doesn't come up often enough that it's like a problem. I know some people definitely don't share that opinion, but yeah, I think like I think I've lost a lot more MMR than I've gained from forcing hat fork ball or hat ball or whatever. So yeah, but yeah, with SBB99, like somebody's gonna find it and somebody's gonna win the lobby with it. So I feel like most games just devolve into that, or maybe an incredible world tree build that can win. But I think that's one of the reasons that they reduce the frequency of the SBB99 lobbies, is because that they kind of end up the end games are all kind of look the same, which is a little bit unfortunate. So I don't really know what like a solution would be to that, but I feel like it takes a little bit of the novelty out of the format when it all comes down to kind of the same thing. But anyways, so we lose a fight pretty badly there, taking 11 damage, and we're gonna triple up our golden stag here. Unfortunately, we don't see hat or ball, and since we're at 4.0, normally in a regular lobby, this is where I would be jumping off of the hat ball. Like I wouldn't be forcing it beyond this point, just because like I mean you're not. It's by the time you get it, it's going to be far too late, and yeah, you're just going to end up losing to someone who's just playing a regular game. But in SBB99, you have a little bit more leeway. I feel like you survive longer in SBB99 lobbies. I'm not entirely sure if it's just like because there's so many more people you're playing against, less strong boards, whereas in like a regular lobby, like I'd be playing against players who are generally at least over 4K, but obviously the matchmaking system isn't perfect and the player base isn't really big enough to have all over 4K players in the same lobbies, so people get kind of mixed up in there. But in this instance, this happens a lot more. So there's a lot more like less experienced players in the lobby anyways. You'll notice that we took the Cinderella because we have the Noble Steed. I took the Noble Steed without any questing characters, just because if we do fail to find a hatter ball or get into a hat ball, then having kind of a way to power spike with like a Lancelot or a Hercules into a level 7 is really good. It's a really good way to kind of have a backup plan, so we could potentially get into like a world tree or something like that, or even like maybe we find a black prism and a crystal ball late. That's still good enough. And also Cinderella gives us a level 3 treasure off of it, so that's kind of why we took that there. I was gonna sell for the Sporko, but there's nothing else that I wanted to sell, so I'm just gonna buy the pig. And it's also a 3 pair, so as I said, you're gonna see me be a lot more aggressively trying to look for hat ball here, because I mean that's how you win these lobbies. Lose our pig, but we do end up winning the fight, just barely, which is good. The Horde Dragons actually got some treasures assembled there. All right, and we find Crystal Ball and Hat off of this Cinderella. If it wasn't exactly Crystal Ball there, I wouldn't have replaced the Noble Steed, but now that we have the Crystal Ball, I can aggressively search for a way to reduce spells and try and copy them. So like we're not gonna be relying on the Hercules or the Lancelot anymore. Yeah, so like if Crystal Ball wasn't there, I would have just kept the Noble Steed and replaced the Power Orb, but yeah, since we found it, we're definitely just gonna go for it. And this opponent has a ton of stats, so we're gonna lose this fight, probably by quite a bit. Yeah, we're gonna take 11 here, which is a lot, and then we're gonna triple our Weaver here. No Hat, unfortunately, but we do find Treasure Map, and we've got this pair of Blind Mice, so if nothing else, we can find a 6 or potentially a 7 if we can find if we find a couple Neans. But we find the Blind Mice first, so we're just gonna take a 6, and there's a Wand of Weirding. So yeah, now we just need to find some way to reduce the cost of our spells, and then we're in business. We've got a Stag triple in the shop here, which I'm just gonna sell down and get, and then we find our Hat immediately, and we can keep this familiar locked and cast a couple spells here. Getting a double shrivel out of it is really good, so feel pretty good about the sell down. Going down a character makes it worth it if we can double shrivel. And yeah, we're gonna win this pretty handily. We even get some pig gold. Yeah, definitely like collecting the Wizard's Familiars. If we have a way to copy spells, they just scale so fast, and generally you just want to build up the stats on the Wizard's Familiars until they're big enough that you want to start TLKing them into bigger versions of higher tier units. So they're like kind of like a stat investment for a huge payoff later. If you don't have like a Forking Rod or a Wand of Weirding, generally the Wizard Familiar is not worth picking up when you're just regular hat balling. At least late anyways. If you have one early, of course, it's great, but... This opponent looks relatively large, but not quite enough to compete with us. Positioning's a little bit weird for them, having the pigs in 7 instead of 5. Alright, we get a Scion of the Storm. It's not small, but it's not incredibly huge at this point, since we got Hat Ball pretty late. Like, there's for sure somebody in the lobby that's hat balling better than us. And I'm gonna sell down for this Medusa so I can keep casting spells here, which means we're gonna go down a character, but yeah, in hindsight, I don't know how much I like this. I feel like maybe it's better to just lock it here. It might not even be worth it to lock it, just because we can find a cheaper monster or something later, but we also get to buy this chicken for free. So we're technically not down a character, but... And I mean, we're not that weak, but also we lose those 2 Wizard's Familiars, which again, scale super fast and might have come in handy a lot later. But, I mean, we win this fight pretty handily. But yeah, I think having those extra familiars probably more worth it than just being able to cast a couple spells there. I think my logic at the time was I need a monster anyways, so picking it up is worth it. And Medusa is obviously very good when you put stats on it. Kind of lacking in targeted spells here, unfortunately. Gonna create some space in the shop before casting the spell. And yeah, Cat's Call's fine here. Create some blockers to go in front of the Spellweavers once the front line's dead. Here's an opponent with a Fork Ball and Moonsong Horn. Yeah, they've definitely cast more spells than us, but we managed to take them down, like, without too much difficulty. Our front line is just very large. And yeah, again, when you see me just like buying a 2 and then casting the spell, I'm just creating space in the shop to hopefully populate it with more spells. It's a little bit more expensive than regular fork balling or wand balling because of Piper, but I think it's still worth it for the potential. I think we're selling down. I'm gonna sell down again. I'm gonna sell this tree and this crafty. It's unfortunate just because we do need a treant and we do also need a royal. So we need to pick up a nutcracker at some point to kind of catch a bunch of those tribal spells. Fortunately, we got our toughness of our Spellweaver is up above 30, so that Doom Breath doesn't do anything to us, really. I mean, it still puts a lot of damage on them, and they have a sarcophagus, so... But we get pretty fortunate with these sarcophagus hits, and they don't hit our Weavers. Managed to take down another player. Now we're down to top 5 already. Again, we would really like to just kind of get out of Piper. Aeon's good, but like the 5 gold is just not worth it at this point. We don't need it for the spell cost reduction, and we just really need to be casting spells to grow our board to compete with whatever our opponents are doing. And we'll take another Cat's Call to use as chump blockers. This is a very big Miri. They've got 10 Miri buffs and a bunch of golden royals. I mean, which of course they would have with their 10 Miri buffs, but they clearly got them pretty early because they were very large, and I think they only had 1 Arthur. Maybe I should have checked, but yeah, we take them down pretty easily anyways. Just considering double casting this Evil Twin on the Spellweaver, but 6 gold just to turn the Spellweaver golden is not great. Alternatively, we could have done it to the Medusa as well, but even a golden Medusa again is just not that great. It would have ended up costing 4 because we just skipped the treasure, but still. There's a TLK, which we're gonna start going up the chain on this golden familiar. The 200 monster book, which is fine. Not ideal, but because 200 is pretty tough to kill, and it really only gets its effect once it's dead, so it's a little bit awkward. They pop their golden pumpkin, and they don't really get much out of it though, so our stats are definitely going to be enough to take them down here. Down to top 3. Alright, and this Potion Master has been on top for quite a while. I have to assume that they're Hat Ball Fork. They did a pretty good chunk of damage to the Fates in the last round, so something to keep in mind here. Yeah, we're gonna shard the Medusa. Even though Medusa's great, but the fact that it has the Beauty's influence on it means that we can keep sharding it into into different things, as it'll always have that good qualifier or attribute. But yeah, so the reason that I was mentioning that I know that they're hat ball is the kidnap is actually a perfect thing to use against them. And yeah, as we see, they've got a fork ball, Moonsong Horn, and I think we fought this person before. I think they might have been the Wonder Waddle, but they've kind of gone nuts with scaling it. But we double kidnapped their Aeon, which is going to be huge. We're going to lose this fight and take a big chunk of damage, but we do get 2 very, very large Aeons. Definitely bigger than our Wizard's Familiar here. We get to triple Scion of the Storm. And yeah, getting the extra spell cost reduction with the Aeons might be good too. It allows us to cast like the bigger spells without having to use gold. And tripling that second Spellweaver is it's fine. Like having them separate is also pretty good, but I mean, we've got stuff that we kind of want to play on board, so. Yeah, this Fates player is Dwarves. I mean, top 3 in SBB99, even a 25 player one with Dwarves is like pretty good, so. Respect to the opponent for taking Dwarves this far. Alright, now we're down to our top 2 situation against the person who has had Fork Ball a lot longer than we have. We get a Mix-a-Wizzle, which turns a character into Aeon, which triples it, and then the Mix-a-Wizzle's into the Ashwood. So it'll go back to being Aeon next turn, but just kind of a weird interaction that can happen. You can transform mid double Mix-a-Wizzle. We get another Scion, and there's another Kidnap, which I'm very happy to play. Honestly, Kidnap is probably the way that we can combat them and get ahead from where we are. Since we're scaling at about the same time. We steal their Golden Storm King, Scion of the Storm. So that's huge. That means we're gonna get 2 of those, two Golden Scions of the Storm to add to our board, which is gonna take us from. I guess we weren't behind anymore. Huh, interesting. But yeah, so we're gonna go from I guess only slightly ahead to very far ahead now. I don't really have the board space for an Evil Twin there, so I'm not gonna cast that. Shard on the Green Knight seems fine. The Green Knight has so many stats on it that I kind of want to play it on board, but it just doesn't really fit anymore, unfortunately. There's more Kidnaps in the shop, which I kind of want to play. I mean, obviously the first 2 ones we did were very good. And here I think it's not really a big deal, but we kind of punt a little bit there, or kind of it wasn't quite optimal. We should have held on to the hero change, like the first one before, and just chosen our hero next turn, since like the Celestial Tiger hero power doesn't help us during the fight at all. So if we just held the first one, changed into Morgan, and skipped the treasure, we'd have 2 extra gold. Yeah, we just so now we have 4 golden Scion of the Storms. One of them is in the croc, and yeah, this 200, 800 Burnbeard is just not good enough to even play on board. Our board is so ridiculously strong now. Consider just firing off the Shrivel, but honestly, Shrivel just doesn't do anything. in this situation. So we roll and we find a 1 cost Pegamorph. So yeah, we get rewarded for taking that roll. Yeah, the double Pegamorph should be enough to finish this game out. Now, if the opponent was smart, they would have been casting Kidnaps and not these, not a Fireball. Although, maybe they didn't find one. Maybe they would have if they'd seen one, but yeah. We handled them pretty easily at the end there, so yeah, thanks everyone for watching. This was an SBB25 game. Let me know what you think about SBB99 as a format. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, I respond to every comment, so feel free to just say hi or tell me what you think about Hatball. Do you think it's a problem in 99 and fine in regular game like I do, or if you just don't like it at all? Yeah. I think that's everything, so I will see you tomorrow for a Trophy Hunter compilation video.